Hello everybody and welcome back to Running with Georgia. I have just got back from the gym. Most of the time my Wednesday videos are just thought up sort of when I go do my exercise on the Wednesday. I get an idea that I want to talk about and I come home and record. And today I was thinking, because this week I've not been able to run. I've had an injury, so I've had to do other activities, and I've been quite upset about that. And one of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling even a little bit sad is buy things. I love buying things. I think my Amazon history of everything I've bought in the past would be a frighteningly high figure. So I wanted to talk about something to do with buying things, because I love buying things. Like I said, I've got orders coming in practically every single day. What I don't like, however, is paying full price for things. I'm Scottish by nature. We are one of the most tight-fisted nations, and I love a bargain. There are probably just a few things that I can count that I've actually paid full price for. So I'm letting you guys know how you can save money as a runner or a cyclist. A lot of the time people think that these sports can be incredibly expensive, and they can, but you can pay less than you think you might need to. So I'm going to tell you some of my favourite ways to save a bit of money. Some of these might be, quite common. I think, okay, yeah, duh. I'm going to talk about them anyway, just in case you're not really aware. And then also some more niche things that I've discovered through the years. So the first thing is obviously discount codes. I'm sure you've all experienced a time when you want to buy something, so you look to see a website that is for sale for, and then you Google website name, discount code, and you try and find one. Sometimes that works and you're laughing, you're golden, you can just carry on as usual. Sometimes that doesn't work though, but you don't need to give up and pay full price. Most of the time, with a little bit more effort, you can find one of those prize discount codes. There are a few ways that you can do this. The first one is Strava. If you've already got a Strava account, or you don't even need the premium version to do this. So what you do is, on your Strava account, in the group section, there'll be a bit called challenges. And every single month, Strava partners with some brands. Most commonly, recently, it's been places like Sun God, Lacol, things like that. So all you need to do is sign up for those challenges. And then once you complete the challenge, whatever it is, most of the time they are incredibly easy. It's like an hour of activity over a whole month. It's not hard. And even if you don't do the activity, most of the time manual entries count. So you can just go on there, say you did it, and you've completed the challenge. And once you complete the challenge, most of the time you'll get at least a 20% discount code emailed right over to you. I've done this in the past when I bought my Puma DV8 Nitro Elites. There was a Pro Direct challenge on Strava. Signed up for it, did it, got 20% off a brand new pair of carbon plated shoes. Bit of a no-brainer. So that's one thing. Do your Strava challenges. Another way to try and get discount codes is if you go onto YouTube and you find the item that you're wanting to buy and you just type review. Go through some of the reviews and see if any of them are sponsored, because a lot of the time, if someone's making a review of a product and it's sponsored, if you look in the description of that video, there'll be a link or a code with money off. So that is another thing that I do quite frequently. The third way to get discount codes is to rely on just the community itself. So there are a few subreddits to do with running or cycling, whatever you're taking part in. And the best one, especially if you're wanting a discount code for running shoes, is it's r/running shoe geeks. This, by the way, is just an amazing resource if you're wanting any advice about shoes. You're having problems with your shoes, you're trying to work something out, you're wanting advice on a new shoe to get into your rotation, whatever. Great place, check it out. But a lot of the time, you'll see people posting, hey, does anybody have a discount code for adidas.com? And within like 5 minutes, multiple people have dropped discount codes down in the bottom. So that's an excellent way to find a discount code for a pair of shoes. Go on there, ask someone. Most of the time, someone will be able to help you out. Those are sort of the discount code type things out of the way. So obviously, those are the more simple ones. Everyone knows about discount codes. Another one to do is to embrace discount stores. A lot of people, they kind of turn their nose up and they're like, oh, well, it won't be good. It's quite cheap. No, 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 no. Get yourself to Decathlon. I'm pretty sure they're a worldwide company. I adore them. 95% of my running clothing comes from Decathlon, specifically their Kip Run brand. Some of my favorites include this really, really lovely lightweight running vest. It's really thin but still durable material. It's got breathability holes sort of lasered in. It's laser cut at the edges, so no seams. It goes up really, really small. It's really breathable. Another one that I really like is their Kip Run marathon shorts. So they've got loads of pockets, enough space for like 250ml soft flasks. They're 2-in-1, so they've got the compression layer that has a mobile phone slot as well. They're just really great shorts. This and the top, they're about £30 each, which isn't like super, super cheap, but for the quality that they are, it's amazing. And if you don't really care about what logo's on your shirt, it's a great place to go. Check out Decathlon. You will not be upset. Decathlon's also a great place to get soft flasks, just while I mention it with the shorts. I've tried a few like cheap options for soft flasks, like on Amazon, like sort of the no-name China ones that were cheaper, but they leak. The spout that you, what's it called? The bit that you drink from isn't as good. The Decathlon ones, they're really well made, never leaked on me, and they have a locking function for the bite valve, so it never just spurts out on you or leaks. Brilliant buy there as well. Back to another sort of more obvious one is the best time to buy things is when the newer version of things get released. So whenever it's new, whenever like Nike or whatever release a new shoe, or a bike brand is releasing their new version in a line of bikes, whatever. That is the best time to buy last year's premium shoe or bike or whatever at a ridiculously low price. And most of the time, they're just as good. There's been like tiny little updates. A lot of the time, especially for shoes, the generations are so different that last year's shoe is actually a better shoe. And you'll be able to get an amazing deal. And I would recommend that over buying like a budget pair of this year's shoe. For example, I was looking at some really cheap pairs of trail shoes when I wanted to try doing that. They weren't the best, they weren't from the best companies, but then for the exact same price, I can buy last year's pair of Saucony Peregrines for the exact same price, and it's a much better shoe. So if your budget is tight, I know it's nice to want to go out and buy the newest and shiniest stuff, but most of the time, you're just as better off going for last year's stuff, and you will save yourself some money there as well. This ties in to that last point a little bit, but my favorite website for buying anything outdoors related that I sort of rave about to every single person when given the chance to is sportspursuits.com. I don't know if it's just in the UK, I have absolutely no idea at all. But it's an amazing website that essentially it acts like a middleman between brands and people just buying stuff, but not in the typical way that a middleman would like jack up the prices. It's the opposite. So if companies have like they've got overstock, or it is just like last season stuff that they don't want to sell on their own website because some companies are really weird about doing sales. They just think it's beneath them. They'll go into contract with Sports Pursuit, and you can get really amazing stuff for ridiculously cheap from really good brands. I first found them when I was looking for a ski jacket. I got a ski jacket for £80 that retailed for over 300, and they're actually like actual discounts. So it's not like if you go into a website and it'll be like, oh, you're saving £60 because RRP was this, but it's never actually properly on sale for that price. These are real discounts. I've used them a lot. I've just bought a couple of cycling jerseys that were over £100 for £30 each, and they're amazing. I also bought a helmet for a substantial amount off, and you can still buy it brand new on the manufacturer's website. One thing to be aware of is, well, it's two things actually. The first of all thing is that you have to be a member to be able to buy things, but you don't have to pay for membership, and it's not like invite only Anyone can sign up, but you can only view the prices once you've got an account. I'll leave a link down in the description if you do want to sign up. I'm not sponsored by them, but if you do sign up with that link, I get a little bit of money back into my account to buy things on Sports Pursuit. So, if you're uncomfortable with that, just type out Sports Pursuit, you'll get the link. The other thing to note is if you want stuff quickly, make sure you're looking for its little truck icon, like a little lorry icon. That means that it's in Sports Pursuit's warehouse themselves, because some of the stuff that they've got is actually still in, the company's warehouse, and then it needs to get shipped to Sports Pursuit and then to you. There's always delivery timelines in there, but if you're wanting stuff quick, you can filter by the in stock, ready to ship right now. But yeah, Sports Pursuit, amazing website. I buy stuff from them all the time. There's no reason why anybody shouldn't have an account with them, because you can get crazy, crazy stuff. Like right now, you can get like a big inflatable paddleboard for £600 off. And it's like, and like I said, it is actually a genuine discount. And if you're like me and you don't really care about having last year's color scheme, it's a no-brainer. This is one that, it's kind of more on a case-by-case basis, but look into signing up for your local running or cycle or triathlon if you do those club. They're incredible value for money. My membership this year cost me like £15, and included with that, obviously you get the planned sessions, which, for me, they do like 2 speed work sessions a week that are like properly like devised by a coach. So, you're saving money, on a coach there. Obviously, it's not as good as getting a tailored plan, but most of the time, most people don't need that. So yeah, you get, your sessions there, they're all set out for you, which is really helpful. So you don't have to think about that yourself. A lot of the time, if they're registered, like I live in Scotland, and my running club is registered with like Scottish Athletics, so I get discounted like race entries. So if you do a lot of races, that can certainly help save you money. My running club has worked out a bunch of like discounts to local businesses. I get a 10% discount off of Run For It, which is a running shop based in Scotland as well. They're just an incredible resource. My wife tried out a triathlon club, and their members get free, fully coached swimming lessons. So, for the price I paid, again, £15, that has already more than paid for itself back. Forgot to mention as well, my running club, you get free access to a gym that they've partnered with as well. So look into your running clubs and your cycling clubs, because a lot of the time when you look at it, you can, even if you do not show up to any of the sessions, the group things, whatever, you'll still most likely get your money back and more. This is sort of a bit of a weird one, but if you're going to like an event, like a big cycling or running expo event, whatever, like I just went to the UCI Championships, take advantage of every single freebie you can get. Now, I'm not saying just go to these events for the freebies, because like my one, it was like £30 for us both to go. So if you're going there just expecting to get that back in freebies, you probably won't. But if you're already planning on going anyway, just go and go to every single stall, ask them, do you have anything I can have? I went there and I think we came back with like 4 water bottles. So, and a cycling hat and a bunch of other stuff and sweets and food. Brilliant. Just have no shame. Go up to every single stall, say, is there anything I can have? This next one requires you to be a little bit brave, and it's just what I call shy bairns getting out. And that's a Scottish saying that basically means if you don't ask, you don't get. So be cheeky. Ask people. So go into a store. If you've got like a gift card or whatever for a specific store, go in, ask them if they'll match a price for somewhere else. Even if it doesn't say in their terms and conditions or whatever that they match prices, ask. They might anyway. Try, like I said, back to the start of the video, if you've got discount codes, a lot of the time, if say it's the actual manufacturer and that puts out a discount code that can be used at other retailers. So for example, Garmin sends out sends out money off vouchers that you can use at a bunch of their distributors. A lot of the time they'll have in the terms and conditions that it can't be used for certain products, like our high-end ones. a lot of the time, like the retailers that have partnerships with Garmin, most of them do it. Like Garmin will say you can't accept it for this. Most of them will have it set up. But every once in a while, you'll find a company that's either not been on it, they've forgotten, they've not done it yet, whatever, but you're able to apply the voucher. My wife managed to get like 20% of the brand new Garmin Phoenix watch. So that was quite a substantial amount of money off of that because she just gave it a go on one website that hadn't actually followed Garmin's instructions and let her use it. So it's always worth a punt, isn't it? Next tip, buy used, but only certain things. So obviously you can go on to eBay, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, and a lot of the times you'll be able to find really good stuff that's used. So I got my mountain bike used. It's really good for bikes if you know what you're looking for, because a lot of the time you'll just be able to get stuff that's pretty much untouched. Like someone will have used it once or twice, and then you get it for way lower. It is harder, especially if you're outside of like the main average like heights and shoe size and things like that, because obviously the pool of people that have stuff that they're selling that will fit you or whatever is a little bit low. But just keep an eye out for that. The caveat to this is there are a couple of things that I would not buy used. So those things are shoes, running shoes, and helmets. Running shoes, unless you can like 100% guarantee that they've not been used, I wouldn't touch it unless you're buying it from an actual retailer. The reason for that is it could look that it's, been only a couple of, like 10, 20 miles or whatever, but you don't actually know. You're just trusting someone that they've had, they've not done much mileage on them, and then you could get them and then they wear out a lot quicker than you were expecting. It's just not worth the risk. The reason for helmets is it's so hard to tell sometimes if a helmet is still safe. That's because helmets are one-time use only products, and they're only like supposed to be able to take one impact of abuse essentially before you need to swap them out. Even if the outside shell and everything looks okay, there's no way of guaranteeing unless you take it to. There's some like companies where you can send a helmet to and they'll scan it to see if it's impacted. There's absolutely no point. By the time you do that, you could have just bought a brand new helmet. It's not worth the risk. Protect your head. Buy a new helmet. Now, this last one is my least favorite of the tips. It's the one that I still don't really follow most of the time. Is a lot of the time, the best way to save money is just to sit down and think, do I really need this? Either do I need this product at all, or do I need this version of the product? So an example is my watch. So I have the Garmin Forerunner 265S. When I bought this, I was heavily debating between the 265 and the 965. The 965 is quite a bit more money, and there's only like a couple of extra features. In the end, the main reason I decided to get the 265 is that it came in a smaller size, and the 965 looked a little big. But realistically, looking at the difference between them at the time, now the 965 has like hill score and endurance score, which to be honest, I don't really care about anyway. They're not incredibly accurate. The main difference for me was the full color mapping features. And, at the end of the day, the breadcrumb navigation on this works just fine for me. I've, never had any problems with it. It does the job, and it's quite a bit cheaper than the 965. So it's just things like that where you can look at it and think, yes, it would be lovely to have, the top of the range, top spec thing of whatever. And if you have a bunch of disposable income that you won't notice it, then yeah, absolutely go buy whatever you like. But for most people, you just don't need the top of the range, sparkling whatever thing. My wife and I again were talking about road bikes, and we were talking about the group set, which is like the gears and everything like that. And Shimano make a bunch of them, and their top of the line one is it's called Dura Ace, and it's like £3,500 just for that, without the frame, anything else on the bike, the wheels, tire, anything. So it's just the gears on themselves and like the cranks. So £3,500, and pretty much the only difference between that and like the lower levels is like weight difference, and it's very marginal. Like it's the amount of weight that you could lose by just having a poo before you go out on a bike ride. And it's one of those things that, yeah, it'd be nice to have, but realistically, if you're having to pay for it yourself rather than being provided it by a professional team or a sponsor, you probably don't need it. And I know it is hard to, knock some sense into yourself if you've got your eyes set on one thing that looks really, really cool and you really, really want it. But just think, if I spent less on this item, then I have more to spend on other things. So that's really the whole point of this video. I'm not saying don't spend money on your hobbies. I spend a lot of money on my hobbies, but the less I spend on each individual item, the more items I can buy. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Those are some of my favourite ways to save money, get things for free, whatever. Because at the end of the day, running can be expensive. I know a lot of people think it shouldn't be. They're like, oh, well, you can go running in, just any old pair of shoes, blah, 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 blah. Yes, but a lot of people don't nowadays for whatever reason. Running has gotten expensive. And cycling, especially cycling, you need a massive big bike or whatever to do that. But there's no reason why you need to spend an incredible amount of money. So yeah, try and implement these techniques. Let me know what you've thought of them, and if there are anything new that you've not heard before that you might look to do in the future. If you've got any tips that I've maybe missed, please leave them in the comments below, and check the comments to see if someone else has a really helpful tip as well. We're all in this together. We all like running. We all like doing physical activity, but I bet none of us really like spending money if we don't need to. But that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and a comment. If you want to stick around for more videos in the future, please also consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me to have all you guys following my journey. So if you did want to do that, it would be much appreciated. But I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.